I think the Secret Lair problem actually just got worse, which is hilarious because we just came off of a weekend where we got a Secret Lair drop of a pictured island that Magic Twitter blew up with. For many of you, I mean, being a male majority audience here, you may not have actually seen in real life what this image is kind of representing here, but for my few female audience members and for those of you that have touched grass, you may understand that this island's depiction is kind of bringing about a laugh and some reactions, and in many ways does represent the kind of drawing of Tar Valon that we've seen. Shout out to all my Wheel of Time fans out there, but this is the positive side of the Secret Lair situation. But when it comes to an announcement from today accessing Secret Lairs and their distribution, again, I think it may have been worse. We may have moved in parallel and not have actually necessarily moved forward in improving the situation. Now, this article by Blake, a Secret Lair test is coming to your local WPN game stores. That's right, folks. We are potentially getting Secret Lairs coming to select WPN game stores. I imagine my prediction, I actually have not read this article yet. I saw this title. I was like, all right, let's go through it together here. Most Secret Lair cards are reprints, but sometimes we create mechanically unique cards. We've heard from fans that they like more ways to access these mechanically unique cards beyond the Secret Lair website. Historically, we've addressed this to the SLX program, landing on an in-multiverse reskin the list. However, the list is gone, so we're trying a different approach, letting Wizards Play Networks sell them directly to you. I mean, it's still direct from Wizard singles. Okay, let's be honest here. This means the next time we have a drop that has mechanically unique cards in it, we're going to make a limited quantity of those non-foil drops available for WPN stores to sell directly to you. So this means, this wording is important here, and this is kind of what I figured. This means the next time we have a drop that has mechanically unique cards in it, we're going to make a limited quantity of those non-foil drops available for WPN stores. So problem number one, you're not going to be able to get the super exclusive rare foil versions through your WPN stores through this limited test for now. Maybe they will in the future, but for now you will not be able to do this. And then also, based on this wording, they're going to print a certain amount and we're going to make a limited quantity of those. So they're not actually increasing, as far as I'm understanding from this wording. And again, I haven't read this article. Maybe they say it down below. But so far, this has been my assumption that they have not increased how much they're printing to give more to WPN stores. So this could potentially mean that there are less still available online through the Secret Lair website, and they're just taking that limited quantity and distributing it, making it honestly kind of harder, because like you then have to go out to a local game store, run from store to store to store. You have people coming in disappointed, and then it has a negative connotation with that store. Let's say, for example, you already have a certain level of events and things you have to do to achieve WPN status. We don't know how high of a status you need to be in this. There are multiple tiers of that, and so maybe only the most exclusive highest level WPN store, you know, the face-to-face games and stuff of the world, like they're getting these, and then people come in like, oh, we only had 5, sorry. It leaves that bad taste in people's mouth. Like they travel to a store, they don't get what they need, and they're kind of just stuck there. They don't really want anything else. I don't know. That doesn't feel like it's really solving anything. Those drops will be on sale in stores while supplies last after they go on sale on the Secret Lair website, but they'll be the exact same non-foil drops you could buy on the Secret Lair website, just from the person who runs your Friday night magic. It's a bit of a test. It's one we're excited about. Finding the best ways to get mechanically unique drops into the hands of players who want them is something that's important to us, and we're excited to try this new approach. We're going to be watching this test closely and talking to fans and WPN stores to make sure we're doing this right, but we're excited to give it a go regardless. Keep an eye out for more details and how this will roll out coming up. Now, they didn't really change anything. Again, it seems like to me, let's say, for example, with the previous Secret Lair drop, I'm just making up a number here, they print 50 of them. People would go on the website, they would buy out all the 50, it would go away. And in recent Secret Lair drops, we had that problem where people would be, kind of accessing the site through like an edited link that would allow them to get into the store early, which is why like people that went in through the legitimate method were not able to do so. They're finding out after the fact. It was this whole fiasco with the Marvel Secret Lair drop. So I'm pretty sure you can kind of look that up. There was like an individual link. It was crazy. And so it seems like with those 50, they might just be taking 20 of them, giving them to stores of a WPN status, but they can't give them to all stores because it's limited quantity. So I'd imagine the highest level of WPN status are probably going to be the ones getting them. And even though they get them, they get like 2, and then they just like sell them from there. And then there's like 30 left over on the website. I don't think this actually solves anything. This doesn't solve the exclusivity of it. It's not like they're selling, you know, the singles or they're giving copies of those. It's still the product. You're still buying the bundle. So it's not like the list where we increase the amount that are in circulation. Like, again, with the list, we technically had an amount that would go back into circulation. This isn't addressing the fact that there would be in-universe versions of the card that would be printed in the list. So yes, you could get a copy of Rick Grimes Steadfast Leader as Grayman Avison Stalwart through the list, but now the list is gone. So we don't have Grayman Avison Stalwart. We just have the same Secret Lair cards, actually probably harder to get, with no list. So the cards are still exclusive. They're still mechanically exclusive Secret Lairs that aren't actually solving anything. This isn't a solution. This is actually just them acknowledging the problem and just like kind of slapping us in the face and running away. Like, it's just playing Nicky Nicky Nine Doors, just running away. And at this point, they just stole our Amazon package probably and just left. Like, this doesn't actually solve the original problem that came out with the Secret Lair Walking Dead cards. And I mean, this all is arising from, you know, the speeding up of Secret Lairs. We had that problem with the original style of Secret Lairs, which a lot of people want to go back to, where it was, you know, kind of like based on how many people ordered them, they would print that many. And so like you would have a lot of people buying out as many as possible. They would sell them afterwards, but that was great in a sense because you could technically have as many copies as you want based on demand, right? If you know, especially with the Marvel Secret Lair ones, we could have potentially had hundreds of thousands of copies of those cards in the wild with the old model because people would order that much. They would get them like a couple months down the line. Yes, it would take a long time. But now with this newer model, it would be like, okay, we're only going to print 50. You can get them in a month, but we sped up shipping. That's what we're going to do. And that's what happened with this kind of early 2024 announcement that many creators have talked to ad nauseum, pun intended. But this came to me originally through kind of this tweet with Saffron Olive, so I'll kind of give it its like for the sake of the algorithm here. But I'm glad this helps local game stores, at least in theory, but I'm not convinced printing more limited supply of Secret Lair drops solves the issue. Again, I don't think they're printing more. They haven't actually, to me, maybe my reading comprehension is bad and we need to open the schools, but it doesn't seem to me they've explicitly said they are printing more copies. I think they're still printing the same amount and just handing them out. The problem with exclusive cards in Secret Lairs is that they are time and supply limited. Making another time limited supply product as a solution is weird to me. I don't think this is a bad change. Giving players more options and helping local game stores is great. It just doesn't fix the issue of $50 Ricks and Storms since there's no long-term way to get supply onto the market. Again, because the list is gone, this isn't exactly addressing the list. They're not bringing back the list. There's no way to get back the Avison copy there. Honestly, the supply needs to be enough that the players would buy it. Allocating hundreds for pre-orders, if they allocate it like 8 to a store, it's just gonna be scalped and resold 100%. So they'll sell online first and offer WPN stores after their leftovers. Well, no, okay, they didn't really read this. It's just gonna go on sale at the same time. Just go back to printed demand. It's odd to me people want rare and collectible, but still available to everyone. I mean, there's also this as well, right? Like the problem is like this is kind of like painfully ignorant. Like, okay, cards should be rare. There should be rarity. There should be exclusivity in cards. But when you make them mechanically unique, that's what this person is like just painfully ignoring. This is what happens when you create artificial scarcity through limited print runs. Okay, artificial scarcity in technically is okay in the model of accepting capitalism and under business, right? Like ultimately, if you are able to get the base copy of the card at a reasonable price, sure, let the exclusives cost hundreds of thousands of dollars. At the end of the day, you can still get a copy of the One Ring, albeit rather expensive, even post-ban in Modern, because at this point, it seems like every legacy deck is playing the One Ring as well. That's a video I want to make soon, but you can still get a copy of it for $90 to $100. And then that's Canadian. but you can then obviously have Post Malone's copy that's worth like 2.6 million or whatever artificial amount that someone wants to pay for it. That's perfectly fine. That's a rare version. You can still get the base copy. That's not what this is about. Mechanically unique Secret Lairs, the problem with them are not being addressed by this. They're actually being made worse. There's an announcement. It's kind of half addressing it and saying, we're not going to solve it right now. We're just going to try this other thing. We're going to try this test. How long is this test going to be? How long? Are we going to get a solution in 2026? What? Come on now. Like, we're going to a world where we are getting Universes Beyond set twice a year. There's going to be Secret Lairs associated with them. It's going to be a great way to get artists involved to make alternate arts for the Marvel cards, the Final Fantasy cards, whatever Secret Lairs you want to do in the future. And then there already is the problem of how Magic artists just aren't being paid enough. You know, like that statistic that goes around that the majority of Magic, the majority of fantasy art, net new fantasy art, is actually made for Wizards of the Coast, and D&D doesn't actually make that much net new art. So it actually is all going to Magic the Gathering. Net new fantasy art is all being made for Magic the Gathering, and artists are just not being paid enough. They definitely aren't at all for the amount that these arts are being kind of you know, reprinted, thrown out and thrown about, I should say, and used. You know, an artist going to a GP level event, getting some signatures off of, you know, whatever they're charging you, that can't be enough. You know, that just can't be enough. So artists are getting underpaid here based on these situations, based on, you know, how they're expanding product in the future. But Wizards of the Coast is kind of profiting like millions off of mechanically unique Secret Lairs. Like, I don't know. It just doesn't seem like the solution that we're all kind of looking for. I think there's someone actually responded. Where is it? Why can't we all agree to see as many as we want in a certain period of time? They're available to order over the next week. Sell as many. I mean, that was the old model. It's a solution designed by someone who doesn't understand the problem whatsoever. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, the solution to the problem is also the problem. Exactly. This is kind of what I was looking for. Yeah, it's clear they don't understand the issue, as the article basically starts with, we are dedicated to fixing a problem that we didn't need to create. They did create without changing the core problem. The problem isn't where I can buy the cards. The problem is they aren't reprinted in other sets. Exactly. Forget the exclusivity. Let people not have access to all the alternate arts out there. That's fantastic. That's what we did with the serialized cards as well. Cool. The problem is I can't even get the base copy of the card. Again, the artificial scarcity of mechanically unique Secret Lairs is not being addressed anymore because the list is gone. This announcement does not do that. This announcement is just testing access. No, forget. Just make the. I don't need it more accessible. I just need it. It's not even accessible to begin with. It's not even accessible to begin with. This is just taking. This solution is literally just taking the number 0, so 0% accessible, multiplying it by 5. 0 multiplied by any number is still 0. It's not adding anything. It's not adding to the, you know, it's not adding to a solution that we could be having. So ultimately, this is my problem with this announcement here. I'm hoping we can get more updates on this. I'm hoping maybe people can have a bit of an outrage about this. Like I would, you know, go to social media, talk about this with the team and really push them on a better rollout of this, because again, it's not addressing the core problems that we have with Secret Lairs. Let me know if I'm missing anything in the comment section down below. Let me know if maybe I'm misreading something, if something was said by Blake in like a tweet after. I don't believe so. Maybe as of recording the video at least. So maybe it happens further down the line by the time you're watching this. Let me know in the comment section down below. I'm hoping we can address the actual problem with Secret Lairs.